Okay, today I'm going to take a wafer thin die from Spellbinders and show you how you can use your wafer thin dies more than just one way. Today I have the Spellbinders Fancy Lattice, and the original way to use it is with the cutouts. Okay, this is one just cut out, and then you just cut it down to your measurements. If you're using on a layout, you attach them together. If you're using at a card, you cut it down to your card base. You can use it, well, here's an example of the original way to use it. I know most of you know how to use them, but for the beginners like I am, this is an example. I put it on foam dots just to give it some depth, create a little shadow there, and that's one way. Now, another way is to use it as a stencil. This you can tell I've used already as a stencil because it's got color around it. Now, I did try to do it with a plastic sheet, but the plastic, it's got to be a dark background. The plastic didn't all completely come off. Let me show you here. So it wasn't what I wanted, but I like the look because it kind of gives it a worn look. I can still use this and use this part, and then there's various pieces in there that came out. So it kind of looks like a broken down architectural building. I like that. So this is not what I wanted, but I'm going to be able to use it anyway, as well as this, the cardboard stencil. I wanted to use the plastic because I thought it would be more sturdy or be sturdier, but you know what you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. So that's two ways that you can use it. Actually, that's two ways. Okay, so then the third way is a way that I got the idea from Christina Warner, Jennifer McGuire, and Sherry Carroll. They take their die cuts and they use the both positive and negative space. So I did it together, and I used the positive and the negative space in the same project, where they do it in two separate projects. What I did is I ran this die over a 120-pound watercolor paper, and I kept all the little pieces. The pieces in yellow are all little pieces that I kept. The main piece, I did watercolor of green and blue over it, and then the inserted pieces I did with a yellow. Once everything was dry, you have to wait till it's dry because then you have a chance of tearing them or ripping them or warping them. I let them dry, and I was impatient, so I used my heat gun. And then once I was done, I got a piece of paper. Here's a better example. I want to show you. These have different colors in there to show you. All I did was I took a spare piece of paper, just some, it's not going to show on the outside, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This one had inking on it. I cut it to the size of the die, and then I ran, excuse me, I ran ATG all down the piece of paper, and then I stuck my die cut right over it, and then I ran I ran my hand around it to lay it flat on the tape. Once I did that, I got the tiny pieces and I reinserted them back in to the die cut where they came from. And so here's a better look of how I did that. And basically, I'm just putting everything back together after it's been watercolored, and that was it. And then this is what I came up with after it was done. Okay, so then as an embossing folder, which they say it can emboss, but you don't always have to cut and emboss. You can just emboss. And this is the look I have. This is the look with the fancy lattice. So let me show you how I did this. Now this, I ran ink over, and so it would show up better on the camera. I did that. You don't have to do it if you want a monochromatic look, but I did because I wanted that look. Okay, so get your die cutting machine. I'm using the Big Shot. And if you have a Big Shot, this is your recipe. Okay, you put your platform on tab 1. You have your plate. Okay. You put your shim down, And I use just a Cuttlebug embossing folder package. Then you put your die down, okay, face up. I'm just using a small piece of paper today to show you. Then you put your paper on the top of that, and then you lay your embossing mat on that, okay? Then with your other plate, okay? And you're not going to feel a whole lot of resistance, but it's going to emboss it. Okay, so let me just put that through. And then I'm going to run it back because I don't have any room to push it through on the other side. Okay, so then you take all this off, and there you have it. Hopefully I can turn it so you can see. So I've done one here already. That I'm going to make a card with really quick. Let me get this out of my way. And like I said, I ran ink over mine because that's just the way I wanted to do the card. So let me put this back. Okay, and here is mine that I came up with. This is what I just did. And then I put some gray trim on it, and I'm going to put it on this light gray cardstock. I have this scalloped edge that I punched out, and then I have this ribbon that I'm going to put across in glue. I'm not going to put a sentiment on it because I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but this is how it's going to look. And this I just slid through there because I'm not sure where it's going to go, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, I'm going to leave that. So let me glue this ribbon on there. And I like how it has these lines or these marks where you can kind of line things up with. If you keep it straight when you're going through the die cutting machine, then you can do that. And I'm going to put, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to tape this down, or I'm not going to put an embellishment on this yet, sentiment on it, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But I am going to put it on this card. Somehow maybe like that. I'm not sure. But this is how I did it. And I had another card done, but silly me, I signed it and put it in an envelope and sealed the envelope before I did the video. So I apologize for not having the card done. But once I do have the card done, I will let you know. But again, there's one way to do it, and you can do it with different dies. Here's one that I did with 2 different dies. This is a die on the outside, and then I did the second one, a rectangular die in here. And then I chalked it so you could see it a little better, but I ran like this one here. What I did is after I embossed it, I ran Versamark over it. I just put the Versamark pad on it and just lightly tapped it so that when I put the chalk on it, it took it really good. So you can mix your wafer thin dies and do it like this and get a different look, totally different look. So hopefully that gives you some ideas on how you can use your dies in other ways. I know a lot of them are expensive, and I only buy mine on sale. But still, I want to get more out of my dies than just cutting them out, throwing away all the little pieces. If I can use the negative and the positive space, I've gotten my money's worth out of it. So if you ladies have any questions, gentlemen have any questions, just send me a quick question and I will get right back to you. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.